G'day, I'm Warwick Schiller, and today I want to talk a little bit about tying horses up. And I have a lot of people ask me about, so, you know, my horse pulled back, what should I do? You know, like problem solving for tying up. And, you know, if a horse pulls back tied up, it's a traumatic experience for them, you know. So the best thing the thing I really want to do is try to avoid traumatic experiences for these horses. And so I'm very choosy about when I tie them up for the first time. So this is a, well, I guess she's 2 now, was a yearling, filly I've been working with for a while. And this horse, when I first started working with her, she's very, very snorty. She's very athletic. She's bred to be a high-level performance horse, but she's very, she can be very, very snorty, very suspicious of new things, and has a big flight instinct, like runaway sort of instinct. And so, you know, I have not tied her up. Today's the first day tying her up. I just actually tied her up a second ago, but I'm going to show you how I did it here. But what I tend to do, I tend to wait till a horse knows how to tie up before they can tie up. If you've been watching the whole episodes of the Principles of Training on here, one of the episodes is called I Need to Know the Answer Before You Ask the Question. So there are several things that with any horse, when you tie them up, they have to be able to do, because those things might pop up. One of the things is they've got to be able to be wanting to stand perfectly still in the first place. If your horse cannot stand still on their own, tying them up may cause some issues for them. Another one of the things they've got to be able to do, they've got to be able to respond to halter pressure both forwards and backwards. So if I pick up here, her feet move forward. Okay, I push on that, her feet move forward. If I stand over here and pull it towards me, her feet move forward. But the other thing is, horses don't just, and that's if they were to pull back, but what happens if they're tied up and they walk forward and they hit the end of the lead rope? They've also got to respond very well to soft pressure on their nose, which she does exceptionally well. She's very, very good at that. There's those 3 things, and then they've got to be relatively unflappable. Okay, she's very curious about this flag, but they've got to, things that move shouldn't bother them. You know, she tends to go, I've got it to where she tends to go towards things that are suspicious. Her first response in the past used to be going away from things that were suspicious. I've kind of got it to where I've got her past that fear stage, and she has the curious stage. And so, come on, sweetness. And then when I tie them up for the first time, I used to use a blocker tie ring. You know, if anybody has seen one of those, they're a very, very good option. I almost don't need to these days, because we built this place and I've got this really good pipe fence right here. And all I'll do with this lead rope is take it and loop it around there a couple of times. Now, if you think, so the reason for the blocker tie ring or doing this is, if they panic and need to pull back, it will let go, okay? Because I think the worst thing they can do is pull back and that thing grab a hold of them. And the reason they're pulling back is because they feel a bit claustrophobic anyway. Then they jump forward, bang their head, have a bit of a traumatic experience. Now, I'm not saying you should teach your horse to pull back and get away. I'm trying to just avoid the traumatic part of it. And so what I'm going to do is take this lead rope and loop it around here. And so she was tied up for the first time 5 minutes ago, 4 or 5 minutes, because I was making a video for my online subscription about it. And if you think about the amount of force it takes to pull that rope through there, I'm going to take 2 fingers and pull on that, and I can pull that rope out of there. So it's not a lot. If I was to wrap it around a 3rd time, like that, I couldn't do it with 2 fingers. I could do it with my hand. I could pull it through there. But with her, because she's always had that, you know, sorry sweetheart, she has a tendency to be concerned about things, I'm probably going to do it with the 2 finger thing. And then I might just walk off and see, like if she went to follow me right there, she might walk and hit the end of the lead rope. And then I would see what happened then. She didn't walk off. So what I might do is come over here and just have her move over. Over you go, sweetie. Over there. Over you go. A little further. Very good. And see what happens. I don't know if you can hear one of my chickens in the barn there is very proud of the egg she just laid. That's what that filly's looking at right now. Anyway, I'll see if I can move her over the other way. What I wanted to do right here is actually hit the end of that lead rope and show you what happens when she does. What I might actually do here is ask her to move forward. Let's watch this. I'll ask her to move forward. See, she feels that lead rope and just follows it with her nose, and that's the thing. I'll see if I can move her forward this way. I'm asking her to go forward, and she hits the end of the lead rope right about there, and her nose comes and her hind end rolls over. I didn't ask her to move her hind end over right then. I asked her to walk forward, and as she felt that pressure there, she just followed it around. So she basically knows how to tie up before I ever tie her up. So she knows how to deal with being tied up before she's ever tied up. And I really think that's the secret, if there's a secret, to training horses to do anything, is you've got to break it down to enough steps, and you've got to set them up for success and not set them up for failure. Okay, that's probably the biggest thing. And like this horse here, like I said, she's quite a, she has a tendency to be quite reactive. Like I said, she's very athletic. She's very energetic. She tends to want to run around a lot when she's on her own. And so, and she gets worried about things easily. So her having a traumatic experience being tied up for the first time would carry on with her for the rest of her life. But I think she's set up really quite well right now to be able to tie up. So we'll leave it as a bit of a lick and a chew. What a good girl. So I'm probably going to leave her here for 5 minutes and watch her. But I really believe she can already do it before she's been asked to do it, which is the key to any stuff training horses.